There is something no one has explained to you about the loneliness you feel. It is not a flaw in you. It is not that something is wrong with you. It is not that you do not deserve companionship. It is something much deeper. And when you finish listening to this, you will see that this loneliness is not a punishment. It is a preparation. Stay until the end. Because what I am about to tell you may change the way you see your entire life. There is a type of person in this world who, from a very young age, felt that they never fully fit in. They were not unfriendly. They were not difficult. They were simply different. They saw things in a way others did not see them. They felt what others ignored. They asked questions that no one around them was asking. And over time, something curious began to happen. Friendships started drifting away on their own. No fight, no explanation, they just disappeared. Romantic relationships arrived with an intensity that was hard to describe. And left behind a pain that was just as hard to explain. Social groups began to feel empty. Superficial conversations became unbearable. The places they once enjoyed stopped making sense. And this person, maybe you, began to ask, "What is wrong with me? Why can't I simply connect like everyone else seems to? Why is it so hard for me to stay in places where others seem so comfortable?" If you have ever asked yourself that question, I need you to listen very carefully to what I am about to say. There is nothing wrong with you. There never was. What you are experiencing has a name. And there is a deep reason behind it. But to understand it fully, I need to take you somewhere very few people ever stop to explore. The true nature of human energy. Every person emits a frequency. Not in a metaphorical sense. In a literal sense. Science has spent decades documenting that the human body emits measurable electromagnetic fields. The heart, in particular, generates a field that extends several feet beyond the body. And that field interacts with the fields of the people around you. All the time. Whether you feel it or not. When two people are on the same frequency, connection happens easily. When they are not, something in both of them senses it before the mind can process it. And that something creates a discomfort that neither person can explain. When a person begins to awaken spiritually, something fundamental changes in the way they perceive the world. They can no longer consume the same conversations as before. They can no longer stay in environments that drain their energy without feeling it physically. They can no longer pretend they are fine when something inside them says they are not. This change is not voluntary. It is not something you decide one random morning. It is a process that happens from the inside out. And there is something most spiritual people do not understand at first. When your vibration rises, the people who vibrate differently from you naturally move away. Not because you are better or worse than they are, but because energy seeks resonance. Think of it as if you were a radio antenna. When you change frequency, you stop receiving the stations you used to tune into. Not because they disappeared, but because you are no longer on the same wavelength. That is exactly what happens with relationships during a spiritual awakening. The people who are not on your frequency begin to feel uncomfortable around you. Without understanding why. And you begin to feel alone. Without understanding why either. But what neither of you knows is that this discomfort has a purpose. It is not a mistake of the universe. It is not bad luck. It is not a punishment. It is a reordering. The universe reorganizing your environment so that whatever comes next can find you in the right place. And that brings me to something I want you to consider deeply. Every person who left your life left behind a space. That space is not a void. It is an opening. An opening for something that has not arrived yet. But is on its way. There is a concept that spiritual teachers have documented for thousands of years. In the West, Saint John of the Cross called it the dark night of the soul. Shamans call it initiation. Jungian depth psychology calls it individuation. Buddhist traditions call it the period of no self. Every tradition, in every corner of the world, has documented the same phenomenon. With different names, but describing the same reality. A period in the lives of certain people when everything familiar begins to collapse. The identities you thought you had begin to dissolve. The certainties that held your world together begin to shake. The relationships that once seemed solid break or transform. And in that process, the loneliness becomes almost total. Not because there are no people around you, but because you feel that no one around you can understand what you are going through. That is the clearest sign that you are in a dark night of the soul. It is not ordinary depression. Even though it may look similar. It is not a common identity crisis. Even though it contains elements of one. It is something much more specific. It is the soul shedding a version of itself that no longer belongs to it. Imagine a snake shedding its skin. In the moment of shedding, the snake is vulnerable. Its old skin is torn and peeling away. The new skin has not fully formed yet. In that in-between moment, the snake cannot move with the same ease as before. It cannot defend itself the way it used to. It cannot relate to its environment the way it once did. You are in that moment. In that in-between space. Between what you were and what you are becoming. And that space hurts. Sometimes deeply. But what the teachers have documented again and again is that after the dark night of the soul, there is always, always, a dawn. Not metaphorically. Literally. A clarity that did not exist before. A peace that does not depend on external circumstances. A connection to something deeper than any human relationship can give you. How do you know if what you are living through is spiritual loneliness and not just ordinary loneliness? There are 7 signs that appear consistently in the people who are going through this process. Sign 1. You prefer silence over empty company. You may once have sought to be surrounded by people so you would not feel alone. Now silence feels more honest than many conversations. Not because you are antisocial, but because your soul no longer tolerates what is inauthentic. The social noise that once filled the space now simply sounds hollow. Sign 2. Superficial relationships drain you physically. It is not mental tiredness. It is an exhaustion you feel in your body. As if spending energy on what does not resonate literally empties you from within. Highly sensitive people process social environments much more intensely than average. That is not weakness. It is the sign of a more developed, more receptive nervous system. Sign 3. You feel as if you are waiting for something that has not arrived yet. A person, a place, a purpose. You do not know exactly what it is. But you know with certainty that what you have now is not all there is. There is a sense of incompleteness that cannot be resolved by anything external. Not more work, more money, or more relationships. That feeling is the soul recognizing that its deeper purpose is still waiting to be activated. Sign 4. Your dreams intensify. The period of spiritual transformation almost always comes with more vivid dreams. More symbolic, more memorable, sometimes even disturbing. It is the deeper mind processing transformation through the only language it knows when the conscious mind rests, the language of symbols and images. Sign 5. You can no longer pretend you are okay when you are not. You may once have been an expert at adapting, at saying everything was fine when it was not. At adjusting yourself to what others expected from you. Now that ability to pretend has simply disappeared. And that complicates relationships, because the world expects you to adapt. But your soul can no longer do that without paying a very high cost. Sign 6. You feel drawn to ancient wisdom. Books on philosophy, spirituality, deep psychology, questions about consciousness, purpose, the meaning of existence. This is not a coincidence. It is the soul searching for a map for the territory it is crossing. Sign 7. You feel a purpose you still cannot fully name. Not a generic purpose. a specifically personal one. Something you still cannot describe with exact words. But you feel it with a certainty you cannot explain. As if you somehow know there is something you are meant to do, but you still do not know exactly what it is. Knowing all this matters, but knowing what to do with it is what makes the difference. The first thing is to stop fighting the process. Most of the suffering in a dark night of the soul does not come from the process itself. It comes from resistance to the process. It comes from trying to recover what has already left. From trying to become again the person you used to be. From trying to fit into spaces where you no longer belong. The question is not how to go back. The question is how to move forward. The second thing is to learn the difference between loneliness and isolation. Loneliness is an internal state. Isolation is a behavior. You can be alone without isolating yourself. You can honor your need for silence and stillness without closing the door to the connections that truly resonate. The goal is not to be alone forever. The goal is to be alone for as long as the soul needs to find its own frequency. And then, when that happens, the connections that arrive will carry a depth you have never known before. The third thing is to trust timing. The process of spiritual transformation does not follow a fixed schedule. It does not end in 3 months or in a year. It ends when it ends. And that can be frustrating, especially in a world that rewards speed and punishes stillness. But think of this, the trees that grow the slowest are also the ones with the deepest roots. And the ones that last the longest. Your transformation is happening at the right speed. Not at the speed you wish it were happening. At the speed you need. If you recognized yourself in anything you just heard, I want you to know one thing. You are not broken. You are not lost. You are not alone in the way you think you are. You are in the middle of something. Something that has a beginning, a process, and a destination. The loneliness you feel now is the space you need to become what you already are, but have not yet allowed yourself to fully be. That process does not last forever. What does last is what you build within yourself while you move through it. The clarity that comes after darkness. The peace that is born from surviving what you thought was unbearable. The deep connection that is only possible when you first connect with yourself. If this message reached you today, it was not by chance. It never is. Stay. There is so much more for us to explore together.